Good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News. I'm Malshani Gamage. A look at your top stories first. President clarifies on the release of the convict of the Royal Park killing. Period for the granting of temporary identity cards extended till Wednesday. Sajid says it is dangerous to hand over child and woman generations to the opposition group. Gotabaya plans to develop information technology. Anura Kumar intends to consolidate the right for the people of special needs to live as ordinary citizens. And in news overseas, Bolivian president resigns. And now the news in detail. Many religious leaders, former Supreme Court judges, lawyers, civil society leaders and youth leaders have made representations to President Maithripala Sirisena recommending granting a sympathetic consideration to the appeal for granting presidential pardon to 34-year-old Don Shamantha Jude Anthony Jaimaha, who is serving a life imprisonment on the murder taken place at Royal Park, Rajagiriya. Venerable Athuraliye Ratanathera, Member of Parliament, played a key role and coordinated in obtaining presidential pardon for this youth. He brought the parents and close relations of the youth to meet the president and to give a lengthy explanation of the background. Venerable Ratanathera also made a written appeal to the president, explaining that the murder took place due to an argument over a love affair between the youth and the young girl, and that Shamantha Jude Anthony Jaimaha, while serving his sentence in prison with good behavior and conduct, undertook studies to successfully complete his external degree. The appeal also mentioned that he is now working for his PhD and is an intelligent young man with a pleasant personality. He appealed to consider the above and release him on presidential pardon. Venerable Ratanathera also appealed to the president to consider this in accordance with the Buddhist teachings of compassion. Venerable Baddegama Samithathera too urged the president to pardon this youth as an intelligent person. He would be a good citizen in the future and that it would be highly appreciated. Venerable Dr. Keradevala Punya Ratana Nayaka Thera, Dvitiya Adhikarana Sanghanayaka of Southern Sri Lanka, also stated that the president should sympathetically consider granting pardon to this youth as he had not indulged in any illegal acts apart from the crime he was found guilty for. Venerable Balangoda Buddha Gosha Thera also stressed the importance of granting presidential pardon to this youth. The president has decided to pardon Shamantha Jude Anthony Jaimaha, considering that he was only a 19-year-old youth when this crime took place, that it was reported that the murder was committed due to instantaneous and uncontrolled anger and was not pre-planned. He maintained good conduct during the last 15 years of prison life, that he has completed higher studies and is studying for a PhD, that he is an intelligent and experienced person who had been rehabilitated, that he had not been found guilty of any wrongdoings during the imprisoned period. He is able to serve the country as a good citizen, and the fact that other countries too grant amnesty to such prisoners. The period given to persons to apply for temporary and special identity cards with respect to the presidential elections has been extended until 12 noon on Wednesday. Elections Commission Chairman Mahinda Deshapriya said that he had taken this decision to extend the time period for the issue of these identity cards, considering the many requests made by civil organizations and political parties.
නොවැම්බර් 16 වෙනි දින ඡන්දය දීමට ඡන්ද පොළට පැමිණෙන.
The elections chief said it is mandatory for those who visit the election booth for voting to consolidate their identity with a document containing a photograph. If a voter has a valid national identity card, a valid driving license, a valid passport, or a pension identity card as a public employee, an identity card issued by the Registration of Persons Department for the Clergy, or an elder's identity card, the vote can be cast. If not, they should obtain a temporary identity card. The period for obtaining this document has been extended until 12 noon on the 13th of this month. This decision has been taken by the Elections Commission. As such, those who do not possess a valid document for voting should immediately meet their Grama Niladari or the estate superintendent and obtain a temporary identity card. In addition, the elections chief said that if anyone had submitted an application to the Department of Registration of Persons and had received a letter with the photograph and the signature of the Commissioner General of Registration of Persons for accepting their application, they could also produce that document at the time of the voting.
අනන්‍යතාවය සහතික කිරීමේ ලියවිල්ලක් ලෙස පිළිගන්නීමට මැතිවරණ කොමිෂන් සභාව තීරණය කර තිබේ.
Continuing with the local election news, New Democratic Front presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa has said that it is dangerous to hand over the child and woman generations to the opposition group which protected the Kotta Ketana murderers. Speaking further, Sajith Premadasa said that he would identify the sensitive issues of the woman and child generations and take action to protect them. He was speaking at a public rally held in the Ratnapura town. This meeting was organised by parliamentarian A.A. Wijetunga. Many leaders of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party expressed support to Sajith Premadasa at this rally. Among those who joined in pledging support to Sajith Premadasa were Indu Gunathilaka, chairman of the Imbulpe Pradeshiya Sabha of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and also who served as its opposition leader, Sri Lanka Freedom Party Ratnapura district organizer Saman Indika, Nivithagala Pradeshiya Sabha member Dilip Rajapaksha, Deputy President of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party Yasana Balamandalaya Samantha Kumarasiri, its Secretary Y.D. Nimal Disarnayaka and candidates of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party of the Palmadulla, Imbulpe, Nivithigala, Ahaliyagoda and Kahawat areas. Addressing the public, Sajith Premadasa said that there are 51.8% of women in the country. He queried as to why their opponents are against him for finding solutions to their sensitive issues. He said that the minister who also came from this area was insulting him. He said he wished to query from this minister whether she was talking in agreement with her heart. She does not understand the women. Sajith Premadasa said that the president of this country should not be an individual slinging mud at women of the country, numbering 51.8%. It is the person who protected the Kotta Ketana murderers that is saying that he would be accepting the women and the children of the country. Not only that, a chairman of a Pradeshiya Sabha of the southern province had abused 100 women and held a party in his house. What action had been taken by the person who was in charge of the security of the country? Can anyone consider that such a person could understand the problems of women? Meanwhile, Sajith Premadasa also joined in a public rally held in the Kayagala district. Sajith Premadasa announced at this rally that he condemned the rape of a girl with special needs who participated in a public rally of the Podujana Peramuna. He further said that he would take action to mete out maximum punishment to the perpetrators of the incident. Sajith Premadasa queried as to who would become the president on the 16th of this month and mete out justice to the girl who was subjected to abuse. He revealed that if any other person becomes the president, the perpetrators would be acquitted and released. There aren't many who talked about this incident, but he said that he would wish to ensure that after assuming office as the president of the country, he would not hesitate to take the strictest decision that he could take to mete out justice to that girl. Presidential candidate of the Podu Jana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has said that he would develop the information technology of the country, taking as a model the development achieved by other Asian countries in this sector. A public rally was held in the Mihintale area in Anuradhapura, pledging support to the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa. A large gathering, including political representatives supporting Gotabaya Rajapaksa, joined in this meeting. Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that many Asian countries were today developing, centered on technology. These countries have developed specially under information technology. This is a fine example to develop the economy of the country. He said that they would be able to train the required labor contribution of the country's young men and women within a short span of 1 year. He revealed that their plan is to join hands with the private sector and impart the training they require, as well as generate the employment they require. Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that they have presented a very clear policy statement to develop every sector of the country and to build the economy and also to sort out the unemployment issue. Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that they have presented a very clear policy statement to develop every sector of the country, to build the economy and to sort out the unemployment issue. As such, he said that they accept every challenge and will surmount them. As the terrorism that prevailed in the past was ended, they accepted the challenge of developing the country and fulfilled it. He called on the people to place trust in him as he is a person who had surmounted all challenges. He called on the people to fulfill their responsibility as he would then fulfill the responsibility in granting them a secure country. Presidential candidate of the National People's Power Movement, Anurukumara Dissanayake, has said that he would consolidate the right for the people of special needs to live as ordinary citizens. Anurukumara Dissanayake made these observations addressing a public meeting. The meeting was organized in the Gampaha town. Anurukumara Dissanayake said that there are about 1.7 million people with special needs. It is the onus of a government to take care of them. Acts had been approved in Parliament to build an access path in every public institution for the disabled to enter them. It has not been fulfilled. He said that if any person of special needs comes for an interview, they would be given additional marks as it is their responsibility to look after them. As such, Anurukumara Dissanayake said that they would establish an administration to ensure them living in the country as an ordinary citizen. Referring to the health sector, he said that it has been launched mainly on behalf of the people. But the struggle regarding the rights of the health service is with the doctors, the nurses and the health staff. There is no discussion on the rights of the patients. As such, he said that they have included in their policy statement that a charter on the rights of the patients would be formulated and made into a law in Parliament. Also, he said that there is a right of the commuters. The transport service is mainly on behalf of the commuter, but the battle is on behalf of the staff members. He queried where the bus or train commuters had launched a strike. He mentioned that although these services have been launched on behalf of the people, they are not meeting the rights of the people. They are even ready to talk about the rights of the commuters. He added that it is the responsibility of an administration to look after the people. Large crowds have gathered round the National People's Party. Its candidate, Mahesh Senanayake, has made this revelation. He said that his aim is to give more opportunities to the younger generation. He was addressing a media conference organised by the youth group of the National People's Party in Colombo. Mahesh Senanayake said that during the last 71 years, he had witnessed that the youth generation had not received their youthhood. This is the reason as to why they had to come forward to provide the required facilities to the youth. Many struggles have taken place in the country in the past years, and many lives of the youth had been lost, mainly because these three parties had misused them. As a non-political leader, he had come forward to be a non-political youth leader. If not, the president who will come to power will have to meet the needs of the country because of the party members. Still on local news, Minister Ranjit Madhumabandar has said that it is a corrupt group that has joined Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Addressing a media conference held at the Vauxhall Street Elections Operations Office, the minister said that among them are those who were engaged in terrorist activities. United National Party Working Committee member Imtiaz Bakir Makar also addressed the news conference. Imtiaz Bakir Makar said that their party leaders handed over in a tray to Sajith Premadasa the Colombo South electorate when he entered into politics. He could have easily entered parliament. Sajith Premadasa rejected this request. He requested that Hambantota be handed over to him. He selected a district that cannot be easily won. It was from Hambantota that he entered parliament, showing the vision he had. It is a well-known fact that what had happened in the world due to those who have a military background assuming power. Such countries were unable to reverse what happened for several decades. The country needs politics that possess a virtuous Buddhist background in which killings do not take place. A special cabinet meeting was held today under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Thereafter, Minister Akhila Viraj Karyavasam expressed views to the media. The minister said that this was the last cabinet meeting to be held under the present government. Several cabinet papers were approved. Whatever problems prevailed, the president, the prime minister and the cabinet expressed their satisfaction over the programs discharged by the Good Governance Administration. He said that they were proud that not a single life was lost or a shooting had taken place. A special cabinet approval was not received. In a reply to a query raised by a journalist, he said that the presidential election was not discussed as there are only 5 days more for the election. A special investigation is being carried out into the fire that erupted within the vehicle yard of the Presidential Security Division. At least 47 motorcycles and a three-wheeler parked at the Presidential Security Division building premises in Colombo Port were destroyed by the fire. The Colombo Fire Brigade unit had doused the fire. And that's all the news tonight. Log into itnnews.lk for more. Good night.